The moment you announce your plans, you begin to destroy them. What if I told you that the more you talk about your future, the less likely you are to achieve it? That silence, not motivation, is your greatest weapon. If you understand the power of silence, then don't just listen, apply it. From today, keep one goal completely to yourself. No hints, no announcements, just execution. Watch how different your focus becomes. Most people believe that talking about their plans builds momentum, but in reality, it creates a dangerous illusion of progress. The moment you explain your goals to others, your brain begins to confuse intention with execution. You feel productive simply because you've articulated something ambitious. This is where attention becomes a trap. Instead of channeling your energy into action, you start feeding off reactions, approval, curiosity, even admiration. That attention gives you a temporary sense of accomplishment, as if you've already moved forward, when in truth, you've only spoken. This dilution is subtle but powerful. Every conversation about your plan spreads your focus thinner. Instead of concentrating your effort inward, you scatter it outward, managing expectations, responding to opinions, and replaying conversations in your mind. Over time, this weakens your drive. What once felt urgent now feels optional, because you've already received a psychological reward without doing the work. There's also a shift in identity that happens. When you talk too much, you begin to identify as someone who has ideas, rather than someone who executes them. You become comfortable in the role of a planner, a dreamer, a talker. Execution, which requires discipline and discomfort, starts to lose its edge. The disciplined individual understands this and protects their attention fiercely. They treat their plans as something fragile in the early stages, not to be exposed prematurely. By keeping silent, they preserve intensity, maintain focus, and ensure that their energy is spent where it truly matters, on doing, not declaring. There is a quiet deception that occurs when you share your plans and receive praise for them. The mind does not clearly distinguish between recognition for action and recognition for intention. So when someone admires your idea, your ambition, or your future vision, your brain rewards you as if you have already earned it. This is the premature validation trap. You feel accomplished without having accomplished anything. That feeling is dangerous. It softens your hunger. The urgency that once pushed you to act begins to fade, replaced by a subtle satisfaction. You start to believe you're already on the path, already progressing, simply because others have acknowledged your direction. But acknowledgement is not achievement. It is an illusion that delays real work. Over time, this creates a cycle. You talk about your plans, receive validation, feel good, and then slow down. You return to talking again to recreate that same feeling, instead of pushing yourself through the discomfort of execution. You become addicted to approval rather than committed to results. What makes this even more dangerous is that the validation often comes easily. People praise ideas because it costs them nothing. They admire ambition because it is safe to do so, but that praise has no weight. It does not build discipline, resilience, or skill. It only feeds your ego while quietly weakening your drive. The disciplined individual rejects this cheap reward. They delay validation. They deny themselves applause until it is earned through results. They understand that true satisfaction must come after the work, not before it. By staying silent, they protect their hunger. And that hunger is what ultimately turns plans into reality. When you reveal your plans too early, you assume that everyone listening is neutral or supportive. That assumption is a mistake. Human nature is layered with comparison, insecurity, and quiet competition. Not all opposition is loud or obvious. In fact, the most dangerous kind is subtle, hidden behind smiles, encouragement, and polite interest. This is why silence becomes a form of protection. The moment people know your direction, you expose yourself to unseen resistance. Some may doubt you and express it in small ways that slowly erode your confidence. Others may offer advice that seems helpful, but actually redirects your focus. And then there are those who feel threatened by your ambition. They may not confront you directly, but they will watch, compare, and sometimes even hope you fail. This energy, even when unspoken, can influence your mindset more than you realize. There is also the risk of competition. When your plans are visible, you give others the opportunity to move ahead of you, to replicate your ideas, or to position themselves strategically in ways that limit your advantage. Information is power, and once shared, it cannot be taken back. Silence eliminates these vulnerabilities. It allows you to operate without interference, without external pressure, and without the weight of other people's perceptions. You move freely, guided only by your own strategy and execution. By the time others become aware of your intentions, you are no longer in the planning phase. You are already in motion, already ahead, and far more difficult to stop. When you stop announcing your plans, something unusual begins to happen. You become harder to read. And in a world where most people constantly explain themselves, predictability becomes a weakness. The individual who cannot be easily understood gains an invisible advantage. This is where mystique turns into power. People are naturally drawn to what they cannot fully grasp. When your actions are not constantly explained, others begin to observe more closely. They try to piece together your intentions, your direction, your next move. This uncertainty elevates your presence. You are no longer just another voice explaining future plans. You become someone who acts without warning and delivers without noise. Mystique also creates psychological distance. When you reveal less, people project more. They fill in the gaps with their own assumptions, often exaggerating your discipline, your focus, even your capabilities. This works in your favor. Instead of trying to convince others of your potential, you allow their imagination to build it for you. At the same time, silence sharpens your identity. You are no longer performing for an audience or seeking approval. Your attention turns inward, toward execution and refinement. You become more deliberate, more controlled, less reactive. Every move is intentional, not impulsive. In the end, mystique is not about hiding for the sake of secrecy. It is about removing unnecessary exposure. It is about letting your results speak while your process remains unseen. And when people finally witness what you've built without hearing it announced beforehand, the impact is far greater because it arrives without warning and without doubt. Silence creates a kind of isolation that most people try to avoid, but it is precisely this isolation that sharpens focus. When you stop talking about your plans, you remove the constant need to explain, justify, and update others. That mental space, once occupied by conversations and external noise, becomes available for something far more valuable: deep, uninterrupted concentration. Most people underestimate how much distraction comes from simply involving others in their goals. Every opinion, every suggestion, every question pulls your attention in a different direction. Even supportive voices can fragment your thinking, causing you to second-guess your approach or adjust your path too early. Over time, this weakens your clarity. You are no longer following a singular vision. You are reacting to multiple influences. Silence eliminates this fragmentation. It forces you to rely on your own judgment. Without the habit of seeking reassurance, you begin to trust your decisions more. This builds a quiet form of discipline, the ability to stay committed without external validation. You become less reactive and more deliberate, less distracted and more precise. There is also a deeper psychological shift. When no one is watching, no one is expecting updates, the responsibility becomes entirely yours. There are no performances, no appearances to maintain, only the work remains. And in that environment, excuses lose their power. The individual who embraces this kind of silence develops a stronger internal structure. Their focus is not scattered across conversations, it is concentrated on execution. And that level of focus, sustained over time, is what separates those who merely plan from those who actually achieve. In the end, everything comes down to one undeniable truth. Results carry a weight that words never can. Anyone can speak about ambition, describe a vision, or outline a plan. Words are easy, and because they are easy, they are often ignored. The world has heard countless promises, countless intentions, countless declarations of what someone will do, but very few follow through. This is why people grow skeptical of words and deeply attentive to outcomes. When you rely on talking, you place yourself in the same category as everyone else, those who announce but never deliver. Your voice blends into the noise. But when you stay silent and focus on execution, you separate yourself. You allow your actions to build quietly until they reach a point where they cannot be ignored. Results do something words cannot. They prove. They eliminate doubt, silence critics, and command respect without requiring explanation. You don't need to convince anyone of your capability when the evidence is visible. The outcome speaks for you, and it speaks with authority. There is also a permanence to results. Words fade quickly, forgotten as soon as they are spoken. But what you build, what you achieve, leaves a mark. It becomes something others can see, measure, and respond to. The disciplined individual understands this difference. They resist the urge to announce and instead invest their energy into producing something real. And when the moment finally comes, they don't need to say much, because what they've done says everything. Timing is a form of power that most people completely overlook. They feel an urge to speak the moment an idea forms, as if sharing it immediately gives it importance. But this impulse is driven by ego, not strategy. Not every plan needs to be revealed in its early stages. In fact, early exposure is often what weakens it. When you disclose your intentions too soon, you lose control over how and when others respond. You invite opinions before your idea is fully formed. You create expectations before you've built anything substantial. This puts you in a reactive position, adjusting yourself based on external feedback rather than executing with clarity and precision. Strategic individuals operate differently. They understand that information, like action, must be timed. They reveal only when there is an advantage to doing so, when the foundation is strong, when progress is undeniable, or when disclosure serves a clear purpose. At that point, the conversation shifts. You are no longer asking for belief, you are presenting evidence. This control over timing also enhances impact. When people hear about something too early, it loses its effect. But when they encounter it after it has already taken shape, the reaction is stronger, more immediate, more respectful. It feels real, not hypothetical. By holding back, you maintain control of your narrative. You decide when the world sees your work, not when your emotions push you to speak. And that discipline ensures that when you finally reveal your plans, they are no longer just plans, they are reality. And now, understand this: silence is not weakness. It is a form of power few ever master. Most people feel compelled to share their plans, to seek validation, to announce their intentions, believing that words will create momentum. But words are cheap. They carry no weight unless backed by action. Every time you speak prematurely, you give away energy, focus, and advantage. Every declaration invites judgment, envy, and interference. It is a subtle leakage that weakens even the strongest ambition. The person who moves in silence operates differently. They understand that the world rewards results, not promises. They protect their energy, keep their intentions hidden, and invest every ounce of effort into execution. While others chase attention, they build quietly, relentlessly, and deliberately. Their progress is invisible, yet unstoppable. Every step is intentional. Every move is calculated. They avoid the traps of premature praise, external influence, and emotional distraction. And over time, this hidden discipline compounds into mastery. When the results finally emerge, they arrive with undeniable force. Those who once questioned or doubted cannot ignore what has been done. Recognition is no longer sought, it is earned. The silent strategist commands respect not through noise, explanation, or justification, but through proof. This is the paradox of power. The less you reveal, the more influence you hold. The less you seek validation, the stronger your focus becomes. Let others speak. Let them chase attention and approval. You will do something far more potent. You will act. You will build. You will achieve. And when the world finally sees, it will not be whispers they hear. It will be the roar of results.